And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be anywhere in the entire world, but you're right here with me, and I definitely appreciate you for that. Hopefully everybody's safe from the Wuhan virus, and the world is not falling around you. Hopefully the virus has not invaded your house with a gun and held everybody. Look, the hysteria around Wuhan virus is so real. It's so crazy. It's so ridiculous. We're going to talk about that, of course, tonight. Also, we got to talk about Harvey Weinstein finally being sentenced 26 years in the penitentiary. Did he get 26 or 23 years? I forgot already. Over 23 years. Matter of fact, that's my fault. I got to fix that in the title. Still a long time. I mean, by the time he gets home, if he does the entire term, the entire sentence, we 90. So he looked like he got one foot in the grave right now, so he might not make it. And he still has charges pending in LA that have not even been filed yet, but that's going to be coming. Also, Joe Biden, the mental problems are starting to mount up. It's pretty clear what's happening here. The guy does not have it all. He's a few trees short of a forest, a few pies short of an entire bakery, a few acorns short of a squirrel stomach. We'll talk about all that and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for joining yet again. Like I said, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me. And I thank y'all for that. And if you like the content, if you like the live stream, please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're listening, watching for the first time, please subscribe. And if you're listening to this on an audio streaming platform, thank you for being here. Share it however you can. Share it on a friend's page. Share it on a family member's page. However you can share it, however you can distribute it, I'd appreciate it if you did that. And again, thank y'all for joining 1,000%. Yeah, people, okay, let's talk about Wuhan virus. Yes, Wuhan virus. You know, I kind of got used to calling it coronavirus, but that's not even really accurate. The accurate term is Wuhan virus because it describes this particular virus. I got I plug my little mouse in so it's less clicks that you hear. But anyway, the Wuhan virus has the entire world freaking out. It's not really that deep. It's not like the end of the world as we know it, okay? Life will go on if you go outside and conduct daily life like you would normally do. 80,000 people died in the U.S. alone in the 2017-2018 winter season. Just in that from like, what was the flu season like from August to like April or whatever. In that period of time, less than, what was it like August, about 6-7 months, you had 80,000 Americans die, right? But was there any stoppage of just normal everyday activity? Did we shut down airports? Did we shut down schools? Did we shut down? I mean, E3 got canceled. And if you don't know, E3 is a gaming conference. It's been happening since 1996. So you're talking about it's been around for what? Like 24 years. And because of the Wuhan virus, it gets canceled. This is ridiculous. We're doing way too much because of this virus, okay? And I think the reason for that is because social media. People are seeing videos from China and they're freaking out. They're seeing some things that might be real, that might be fake. People are convulsing and having a fit, all this, that, and the third. But look at just zoom out. You got 5,000 deaths, and the majority of that are in China. You have like 20 or 30 deaths here in the United States. Now, how many have died for the flu? How many have died from the flu in the U.S. this season? Like 12,000? Does anybody care about that? Like, is that really your thing? Oh, they don't have a Wuhan virus vaccine. Is there a vaccine for the flu? If there is, I can't tell. If there's a vaccine for it, how do you have 80,000 dead in a year in one country? How do you have 12, 15,000 dead? And we're not even done with the season yet. The flu shot, does that work? I can't tell. Again, 80,000 dead. If the flu shot were so effective, I've seen people die from the flu shot. people get the flu from the flu shot. I've never in my life had a flu shot, and I'm here. I've made it. And you can't just live your life scared of life. You can go out and get hit by a car. You can get struck by lightning. You can get, I mean, I've had situations where it's like near death. Not like I actually got, hit by a truck and then my body left it ain't like that. I was in a situation where I was in my car driving, and right next to me, a transformer blows up. Just boom. It was like an intense bright light. If I was looking at it, I would have been blind. I'm in the car. The transformer's like right outside my car. It blows up. And then all of them down the street blow up. Now, what if I had opened my door for some reason? If I had been outside, or if my window was down, I'd have been toast. But guess what? I'm not. Now, the risk is there for that to happen. But does that mean I just stay at my house? I never roll my window down. I never get in the car. I've been in car accidents too. Do I just not drive because you could have a car accident? I mean, I'm gonna get in the plane. I mean, the planes may crash or whatever, but does that mean that I'm gonna be afraid? Like, you can't live your life in fear. That's my whole point that I'm trying to drive home. This whole Wuhan virus is getting ridiculous, man. Like they shut down the entire Italy. It's like, come on, really? Is that what we're gonna do? Is that what we're, I mean, come on. I understand nobody wants it, but we're getting ridiculous. Okay. Now, matter of fact, have you guys seen the measures that people are going through to prevent from getting the Wuhan virus? Did you guys see my video I posted on my social media? I didn't do a video about it on YouTube. I should have. I may do that when I'm in LA. And by the way, I'll be in LA tomorrow through Saturday. My time is super busy. I'll be out there working for the most part, but I will be out there. And I plan on going back. If I like what I see out there, I plan on going back to do some hanging out and whatnot. But I'm going to go out there for work mostly this time. Okay, now, if y'all have not seen this video, I'm going to play it. And I'm going to translate, and if you don't understand what the young lady's saying. Am I going to stream the Trump address tonight? I probably will. That'd be about, 9 o'clock? So, yeah, I probably will. And this show is going to be a little bit shorter because I got to get up early in the morning. So I may end like 10:30 tonight rather than 11. Okay. Now, let me see. I'm reading some of the stuff. I mean, the Wuhan virus, you got 30 deaths in America, 12,000 from the flu. Nobody cares about the flu at all. Let me see. North American YouTuber says, let me explain flu vaccines. They only cover certain strains of flu, not all of them. So if you get vaxxed for one flu, you might not be protected against another. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Now, this is the extremes that people are going through because of the media hysteria about the Wuhan virus. Let me go ahead and play this right quick. I know you guys may have seen it, but I'm going to play it one more again. One more time, we're going to play it.
And that employee is quarantined right now. They're just trying to see if the person will be developing any symptoms.
And don't nobody want their child to be sick, and don't nobody want to take that virus to their house.
Parents with children at Treadwell.
She said nobody wants their child to be sick. Nobody wants to take the virus to their house.
Middle and elementary school.
You see, she's like wiping the book back down with some type of, I don't know, like alcohol wipes or something, which is smart. That's what you do because hand sanitizer, it ain't nothing but alcohol and aloe mixed together.
Are not playing around. Many wiped their kids down, and some even sprayed them with disinfectant spray as they took them home.
Do you see this man spraying his son down with Lysol or something, spraying him right in the face? If you can't see it, if you're listening to it just on audio only, this kid is just outside of school with his book bag on, trying to go home. Here comes his dad spraying the bottle of Lysol all over him and got him right in the face. What is spraying a man in the face with a bottle of Lysol? Just let him wash his face with some soap and water. You're going to spray Lysol on him? But let's continue.
Monday.
I wiped my children's backpack down when I got them out of school. Sure did. Gave them gloves. Sure did.
Now, she said, did I wipe my children's backpack down when I got them out of school? I sure did. Did I give them gloves? I sure did.
Parents are doing this after they found out an employee who works at Treadwell Middle and Elementary came in contact with a person who tested positive for the coronavirus in Memphis. Some took more extreme measures.
Now, what you're seeing right now, if you are audio only, this lady has on a makeshift hazmat suit. Now, when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, she has on a trash bag over her head with the front cut out so she can breathe, a mask over her mouth, some kind of black trash bag, like to cover up, I guess, an open spot in her hoodie. And she has on like this fleece type hoodie thing with no hood on it, and it's yellow. So I'm thinking, okay, she has a yellow Family Dollar bag and the yellow fleece because the hazmat suits are yellow. That's what we're doing. And then she has on trash bags on her feet to prevent from getting the coronavirus, or pardon me, the Wuhan virus.
2 garbage bags. My shoes and came loose. 2 sacks. Another sack. It's messed up. The flu killing more folks than that is, so what's up?
Now, what she just said, if you didn't hear it, which is kind of muffled, the flu is killing more folks than this is. So what are we doing? What's up? And I'm right there with her. Even though she looks absurd in her makeshift hazmat suit with that one eye, she has one eye exposed. I guess she was like, I got to put a hole right here. So I got to breathe, number one. And number two, I got to be able to see. One eye is exposed. One eye is covered with the trash bag. And, you know, she's picking her grandson up or something from the school. This is crazy. This is just what we're doing right now, though. But I mean, we're just totally, we've totally lost it. We've totally lost it in this country with this whole virus. And there's always some kind of new virus. H1N1, swine flu. What else was it? So many different things. I don't even really remember. You know, you thought you might get anthrax in the mail, all kind of stuff. There's always a new scare. Always. Every 2 or 3 years, there's always a new scare. Now, some people say, you know, it's always one in an election year, but I mean, come on. It's just always some kind of new thing you got to be afraid of. And I'm like, all right, man, I understand that this virus is real and you got to protect yourself, but what are you going to do by just having yourself holed up in your house? Okay, and they're talking about somebody had the virus at CPAC. I mean, people have the flu all the time everywhere you go. Now, why don't you have the flu? Is the coronavirus or the Wuhan virus more contagious than anything else? I think it's just a lot of hysteria about a thing that should not have a lot of hysteria around it. It's not the plague. It ain't like if you catch it, you just vaporize it to thin air or spontaneously combust. It ain't that. So we're just doing way too much. That's really just the bottom line at the end of the day. West Nile, yeah, I remember West Nile. All kind of stuff goes on. The bird flu, remember that one? That was a big one. 1,000%. Now, people talk about the elderly. Yeah, of course, if an elderly person gets sick, they're going to be more susceptible to having complications or possibly passing away, because if an old person catches the flu, what happens? You know, I think that might be similar. I'm not sure what the death rate is in elderly people from the flu, but I'm willing to bet it's high or higher than the general population, because if you're an older person, you already have a compromised immune system. You're not as strong as a young person. Therefore, things like that can happen. It's, you know, it's pretty simple. I mean, does the flu not spread fast? Somebody say I'm talking dumb. Does the flu not spread fast? You had 80,000 people that died in 1 year in one country. 80,000. So does the flu not spread fast? Does the flu spread slow? How does, like, what determines the speed of spreading? I don't understand. Like, is it easier to catch than the flu? I mean, as far as I know, the way you catch it is from your hygiene, like your hands and that type of stuff. If you eating and you're not washing your hands, that's the general thing. I've spoken to doctors, people that know about this, and they say the main thing, wash your hands, and that's pretty much it. You know, just take care of yourself, have hygiene. That's all that there is. Flu rate in elderly homes is around 8%. There you go. I mean, what more can I say? And then they're talking about, the death rate from the Wuhan virus is 3.5%. We don't really know what the death rate is. It could be higher or it could be lower, because we don't have a full scope of the, a full scope of the spread like we do with the flu. Yeah, I saw that where New York State has their own hand sanitizer. That's crazy. So you got guys in the penitentiary making hand sanitizer. Do you want that? Do you trust that? I don't know about that one. It ain't like the penitentiary is the most sanitary place in the world, but different story. I digress. Okay, I have no clue. You tell me what's going on. Lamar, are you a doctor, sir? Tell me what's going on so then I can be informed. Rather than just saying, I don't know what I'm talking about, tell me the proper information and then we'll have it. You washing your hands and you still got sick? Well, what do you have? Do you have the Wuhan virus? Or do you have something else? Okay. Yeah, you know, big crowds and stuff like that. Oh yeah, people talking about calling it the Wuhan virus is racist. That's crazy. You have the Spanish flu. Lyme disease is not because of a fruit or a color. It's because of an actual place in Connecticut. You have West Nile virus, Lyme disease. Ebola is named for a river in the current day Congo. Back then it was Zaire. Zika virus, same thing. You had the Russian flu, if I'm not mistaken, the Hong Kong flu. It just makes sense to name it for where it came from for a couple of reasons. Number one, so you can know that it's a unique disease or virus. And number two, so you know where the epicenter of it was or is currently if you're going through it at a particular point in time. Rather than just saying COVID-19, I mean, come on. Wuhan virus, real simple. All right. But thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Yeah, one thing I always do is I wash my face a lot. I just washed my face before I came on the show. I do that all the time. I brush my teeth regularly, multiple times a day. I have good hygiene. That's why I normally don't get sick. All right. Let me see, but I'm reading this here. But I'm going to try to play the Trump address later on. That'll be right around 9 o'clock. This is going to be a shorter show because I got to get up in the morning pretty early. But I will try to go ahead and play that when it comes on. I think what Trump will do is probably announce some kind of relief or something like that. But we'll see. Right. MRSA is worse than the flu, stays in your blood forever. Yeah, so it's a lot of diseases, it's a lot of viruses. You just got to protect yourself as best as possible, but you can't just not live your life. But what else we got going on? Harvey Weinstein got 23 years in the penitentiary. Okay, for the charges in New York, which were a third-degree count of rape and a sexual crime that was not rape, some kind of sexual assault, some kind of sex crime, but it was not rape. I'm not sure what the crime is specifically, but that's what he was convicted of. All right. So people are saying different things. I'm getting mixed reactions from people. Some are saying that it's good that he got this time because he's a rapist and he deserves it. Some are saying that he didn't do anything. He had just a casting couch. This is kind of like the Me Too movement going into overdrive. I think there's part of the Me Too movement happening, but at the same time, I think this dude was engaged in some other kind of stuff. It wasn't just the casting couch. It was some other things going on. I think he was not as bad as Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby had no casting couch at all. And his whole thing was drugging and raping, you know, but he did not get locked up for that. He got locked up for drugging and raping or trying to assault Andrea Constand. Well, he did get locked up for that, but he didn't get locked up for all the other things that were alleged in the past. What it was like 60 women that came out. With Harvey Weinstein, it was like 80 women. Now, all the women are not telling the truth. In Bill Cosby's case, I think even I think one person came out, Jan Sickerson, she came out and said that she was not telling the truth. So not everybody's telling the truth, but when you have a pattern of a particular thing, it's just like when there's smoke, there's fire. Especially with a guy like Bill Cosby. I mean, that's the guy you would least expect to be a rapist, but there was always stories about him in the media, kind of like on the down low, not really in the media, more just kind of on the down low, whispers about what he was doing. And then it got to the point where his own former castmates came out and said that he was doing what he did. So it's kind of hard to go against that. People that know people that are in certain little areas, people that have friends that were violated by him, allegedly. So maybe Harvey Weinstein can be cellmates with Bill Cosby. One thing about Harvey Weinstein is that he's not going to a federal joint. I think he was in Rikers Island, which is not a federal joint. Now, if he went to the federal joint, if he went to MCC, for example, that's where, what's my man's name? What's my man that had the plane? I can't think of his name right now. You guys know what I'm talking about. But Bill Clinton's friend, Harvey Weinstein's friend, Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was in MCC, and he quote unquote killed himself magically, being 6 foot tall, hanging himself on top of a bunk in the penitentiary, which is like he can stand up totally and be way over the top bunk, but he hanged himself from that. Okay, anyway, Jeffrey Epstein was allegedly suicide. He allegedly committed suicide in there. Probably was suicided. But in that same jail, they found a loaded gun. Now, how do you find a loaded gun in a jail? And it took them 8 days to find it. How do you smuggle a gun into the jail, number one? Even if you're a guard, how do you smuggle a gun in the jail? That's number one. Number two, it was in the inmate cell, not just floating around in the yard or behind a toilet in a common. In the inmate cell, you had a loaded gun. So if Harvey Weinstein were to go to MCC, he might mess around to get shot and killed in there. The man had a gun in the cell. I mean, that was crazy. It took him 8 days to find it. How do you take that long to find a gun in a cell? You can't hide that. It ain't like you could just collapse it up into like a piece of paper and stuff it up under your bunk and conceal it. But that's what's going on in some of these jails. So if you hear that Harvey Weinstein had an accident or he committed suicide or something like that, you already know what's going on. You know what's going on with that. 1,000%. Exactly, Dennis. Weinstein didn't kill himself. Say it right now, because you know what's going to be coming next. That's going to be the next thing that we're talking about. 100%. But yeah, so Harvey Weinstein's locked up, and that's pretty much a wrap for him. His victims are saying, and others are saying that 23 years was not long enough, but I mean, he's 67 years old, 23, that's 90 years, and he still has LA charges that are pending that have not even been adjudicated, let alone actually, tried yet. So we still have a very long way to go in this whole thing. But as for right now, the sentence he got will pretty much be the rest of his life. So it's a wrap for him the same way it's a wrap for Bill Cosby. I'm not really sure what more can happen, but what I will say is that this whole environment in Hollywood of people, that the casting couch and stuff like that whole environment does exist. And the question is, are we going to just let it persist? Is it just what I think a lot of girls and guys don't get that twisted. They go to Hollywood trying to be somebody, trying to become famous, trying to get on the silver screen or the small screen, whatever. And it's competition, stiff competition. So what are you willing to do to stand out? What are you going to do to stand out? Harvey Weinstein says, hey, I got a movie coming out. It's going to be big. We got Jamie Foxx. We got, everybody going to be in the movie. It's going to be big, humongous, multi-million-dollar budget. You can be in a starring role in the film. You're a newcomer. That's fine. I put you in a starring role in the film. But guess what? I need you to come to this meeting, quote unquote meeting, at 3 a.m. in my hotel in LA. So what you going to do? And at that point, you make a decision. That's what Harvey Weinstein was doing for the most part, except for when allegedly there may be a girl that's just working like an assistant, a makeup artist, and he trying to like pushes up on her. She's not with it and then takes advantage. That is what he was allegedly doing and got convicted for. But hey, we're going to see. You guys are funny. We're going to see what happens with the whole Hollywood industry. Okay. But I mean, everybody knows what's going on. Oprah was his friend. Meryl Streep was his friend. He had very powerful friends in very high places. He was a guy in Hollywood. him and many others that engage in the whole casting couch situation. So what are we going to do going forward? I don't really know. But hey, he's locked up. And one thing I can say, can nobody say, oh, Bill Cosby's locked up? What about Harvey Weinstein? Harvey Weinstein's locked up too. So what's the excuse now? That this whole thing of, unequal punishment and the race-based thing, that's not even right there. I think a lot of this is based on social media, people having their cases kind of go viral, and then the public demands a reaction. They demand some kind of retribution, some kind of justice. And in this case, it happened. But with other guys in Hollywood that do this very same thing, nobody really cares about it. It kind of goes up under the radar until it becomes on the radar. Then there may be action taken, just like with Bill Cosby. The guy, Hannibal Buress, the joke about Bill Cosby, it goes viral. And now he's in the penitentiary. Things get investigated. People come out, they get a movement behind it, and he's gone. All right. Yeah, I heard about Charlie Sheen and raping a young boy. I heard about that. But I haven't heard that be a pattern. I don't know if he did it or not, but it's possible. Hollywood, I wouldn't put nothing past it. You could tell me anything about Hollywood. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, at this point in time, tell me anything about anybody, I'm not surprised. Because people, it's unpredictable sometimes. Some people, they're going to do certain things. It's kind of predictable. But sometimes it may just do something totally different. And at this point in time, it's not even surprising. You may see a family online on social media, on Instagram, everything looks great, everything looks fantastic. And then you see the man that killed himself and the whole family. It's crazy and it's ridiculous and it's sad, but it's like I almost become numb to it. I've seen so many news stories. It's just that's just kind of what it is. But moving right along from that, speaking of crazy people, have you guys seen Joe Biden's recent outburst? I think I did a video about this. I did. I mean, the guy, he's not there. But this is the presumptive nominee. I saw Bernie Sanders come out talking about, today, saying people are telling me that Joe Biden's going to be the guy. I can't vote for you because Joe Biden's going to be the guy. And when he was talking, I thought he was going to drop out. The way he was speaking was that's kind of like a dropout concession speech already. But he was like, no, we're going to keep on fighting. We're going to go to the debate, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, all right, so you want to keep on moving? That's fine. But Joe Biden is just not really there. Check this out.
These union workers.
And if you're not watching this, if you're listening to it on an audio streaming platform or just audio only, Joe Biden is in Michigan. I'm not sure where he is. He might be at a auto factory. He's speaking to, I presume, an auto worker, and the guy's asking him a question about Second Amendment. And the guy's right in front of Joe. It's one guy in between them, but they're face to face. If he were to reach out and extend his hand, you could touch him right on his shoulder because they're pretty close to each other.
They have been working countless hours under the Trump administration. I'd like you to explain how you plan to not only keep us working.
And be forewarned, there is some cuss words coming, so if you got kids, cover their ears.
About how you intend on getting the union vote when there is a large portion of the union workers that are gun enthusiasts, and you are actively trying to diminish your Second Amendment right and take away our guns.
You're full of shit.
All right, thank you.
Now, shush.
Now, there was a lot going on right there. First of all, you heard the question, you heard what was asked, or if you didn't, I'll tell you. Basically, he was saying, Second Amendment, are you going to be behind that? Are you going to take away our guns? What's your stance on that? Now, Cranky Joe, Creepy Joe, Creep Veep says, you're full of the S word. And right when he says that, you hear an A in the back says, okay, thank you. She's trying to save him. She's trying to be all right, this is going the wrong way. We don't need this. My job, speaking from her point of view, is to make sure you don't do nothing crazy and stay on the up and up and look good as possible for your constituents or your potential constituents, for people that could vote for you, right? He's like, yo, shush. Basically, shut up, girl, I got this. Now, I've not heard anybody from the feminist movement talk about this. Anybody saying Biden's so toxic for telling the girl to shut up. Imagine if that were not Joe Biden, but Donald Trump saying something like that. This reminds me of that Jim Acosta kerfuffle when he was fighting with the mic. You know, the girl was trying to tell him, okay, matter of fact, it wasn't even the girl that told him that. It was Trump that said, okay, next question. And the girl was in this situation trying to take the mic away from him. And he was like, nope, wrestling with the mic from her. That kind of reminds me of that. The feminist people didn't talk about that. It wasn't really a big deal. And with Creepy Joe, it'd be the same situation. But let's keep going.
Josh, I support the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, just like right now, if you yell fire, that's not free speech. And from the very beginning, I have a shotgun, I have a 20 gauge, a 12 gauge, my sons hunt. Guess what? You're not allowed to own any weapon. I'm not taking your gun away.
Now, one thing about this, if you can't see it, Biden is like right in front of this guy's face, real close. Like if you put a book in between them, it might not fit. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but they're pretty close. And he's pointing his finger at him, like kind of aggressively. Now, in certain parts of the country, certain parts of the world, you do stuff like that, pointing the finger all in their face, almost touching them. That's a fighting stance. You know how they say there's like fighting words? That's a fighting stance. So you're kind of aggressive and looking down and pointing. Somebody might have just punched him in the face. Not saying I would, no threat, but people don't take that finger pointing stuff too lightly. But let's keep moving.
Oh, you need 100 rounds?
So when you were in Beto, when you said you're going to take our guns, that
I
means
did
what?
not say that. That's not true. I did not say that.
It's a viral video.
It's a viral video like the other ones they're putting out that are
It
simply
was
a lie.
your voice. You were said that you're taking the guns.
Well, he just clarified it.
Wait. Your AR-14s.
Okay, this is.
Now, what is an AR-14? I'm not really sure. Let's back up a little bit, though.
AR-14s.
Okay, this is not okay. Hold on.
And he said, this is not okay as far as the finger pointing, because he was like right in his face. And he's like, okay, I need you just to back up a little bit. Give me some space. Give me some room. Joe Biden's not the kind of guy that I want to be the president at all. He's not likable. He's not approachable. And you can't just be so combative like that. If you're trying to win over voters that may not necessarily want to vote for you right now or may kind of be in the middle, you got to be able to approach them with a level of respect. And that's not what Joe Biden has right here.
All right.
Hey, let's
Don't tell me
do the
to
same
do. I
thing
want to
here.
go outside.
There's a lot
with
of
you.
guys.
He's like, you want to go outside? So Joe, 77 years old, not really right in the head. You want to go outside, bucko? Come on, man. That's not really the wave. And at that point, he pretty much walks off. So Joe Biden, man, I don't know what you're doing. And people that want to vote for Joe Biden, is that who you want in office? People are trying to tell me, oh, like Trump is any better. Yes, Trump is better than Joe Biden. You know, Trump is not going to just let you do whatever or say whatever to him, but he's not going to be all in your face, pointing fingers and cussing and fussing and carrying on. He's not going to do that. He's just not going to do it. But Joe Biden is. And then on top of that, he's not finna be sniffing little babies and stuff. He has a lot of problems, Joe Biden, that is. He has a lot of issues that at a certain point are difficult to ignore. I read on Twitter, you know, great source, right? But I read that some of the people in the Democratic Party, like some of the underlings, I guess that's kind of a wrong word, but anyway, people that's not really politicians, people that are just working on Capitol Hill, they know that Joe Biden has cognitive issues, but they don't care. They pretty much laugh at him. Okay. At that event he was at, where he was struggling to say that Trump would be a bad person to pick, that you shouldn't vote for him. People were laughing at him right there, laughing at him on stage. Now, these are your people that came to see you, and they're laughing. Is that what you want? They're not laughing because you told a funny joke. They're laughing because you got something wrong and you're not really understanding what's going on. You're not speaking very clearly. It is what it is. Right, that was funny. Hey, if he wants our AR-14s, that's fine. Give him the AR-14s. I'll keep my AR-15 because he didn't say AR-15. He said AR-14. I'll keep that. You could take one gun, AR-14, go ahead and have it. How about that? And then let's not have any more gun grab talk. This guy can't win. He cannot win. One thing that's pretty interesting is how Michigan went to Biden rather than Bernie Sanders. That's very interesting because last time it went to Bernie Sanders in 2016, but now it went to Joe Biden. That's interesting. Does that mean that Michigan is becoming more conservative and they're going to vote more for Trump? Or they're more liberal but moderate? I think they're going to vote more for Trump. That little exchange was in Michigan. So I don't think that voters are going to look at that and be like, I want to vote for that guy to be my leader, to represent me, to come and do things that'll help me. Pointing the finger in my man's face, it just ain't going to be a thing. You know, I mean, if I were a guy that looked like him, or that was his position, working in the factory or wanting my guns, which I do, I just wouldn't want him to represent me at all, even if I were a leftist, this period. But yet Michigan still went for him. So I think a lot of people in Michigan are going to switch parties and go over to the right. I think what's happening is that people have become more conservative in general. Biden represents the conservative Democrat, and Bernie is a more liberal Democrat. People are voting more for the conservative than the liberal, even in the Democratic race. And in the states that Biden has won, I think Trump will win in pretty handedly. But it is what it is. Thank y'all for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. If you like what you're hearing so far, please hit the like button. Share the video as well. I definitely appreciate that. We got 708 live in the building. This is going to be earlier into my show. I got to get up in the morning early, going to LA. But I am going to try to play the president's State of the Country address, not State of the Union address. It just be like kind of like a State of the Country. What's going on with the coronavirus? Is there going to be any kind of aid given out? Like, how are we going to progress going forward? So I think that's coming up pretty soon here. I think at 9 o'clock, I'm going to try to get that on as soon as I'm able to do so. Yeah, definitely get out and vote. Don't just act like we have the vote sewn up. Get out there and vote, because it ain't just the president you vote for in the primary. You have local elections to worry about as well. So definitely get out there and vote. 100%. Vote in your area. Vote in the primary. Vote early and vote often. When I say often, I don't mean more than once in a particular race. Like in the primary, vote 3 times in the same. Nah. Vote in the primary. Vote in the general. Vote in the local elections. Vote legally. And vote anytime you can. That's pretty much what I'm talking about right there. Alrighty. But what else we got? Now, oh man. Dwyane Wade's son. Now I know you guys have seen what's going on with Dwyane Wade's son. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, Dwyane Wade is a former basketball player, played with LeBron James for a while, has at least 2 or 3 championship rings. I think he won 1 or 2 with LeBron, and then he won 1 with Shaq before LeBron came. And his son is 12 years old and now identifies as transgender. So Dwyane Wade and his wife, Gabrielle Union, who was not the boy's mom, by the way, stepmom. The boy is his first wife's son, but that's a different story, and I digress. They're kind of like parading him around, taking him here and there, red carpets. And my thing is this. Am I seeing marketing for a reality show or what? I don't think that I want to see a 12-year-old boy calling himself transgender, dressing in women's clothing, be groomed for a reality show, and I don't want to see them use him for that particular purpose. I don't want to see that, because at 12 years old, do you really know what you want to be? Like, you may have had hopes and dreams and goals when you were 12 that are not the same as right now. Okay, you might have wanted to be an astronaut, you might have wanted to be a rocket scientist or whatever. Are you that right now? Things change. And you don't want to make a decision that can affect your life permanently. Now, granted, he's not done any kind of surgery, but what if he's like, you know what? I want to take some of these hormones, some of these puberty blockers or something else. Like, what's really going on? Okay, now if you've not seen the situation, that's him right there in the center. That is a boy, obviously. Okay, now the boy is 12 years old, but not necessarily a small guy height-wise. His father, Dwyane Wade, is like 6'4", 6'5". She's like, I think about 5'10", 5'9", 5'10". He's 12, probably about 5'8". He probably grow to be his size. So what happens when he goes through puberty? His voice gets deeper. He becomes more masculine. And he decides that he does not want to be in this whole transgender thing anymore. What happens then? I mean, I just don't understand. And then his parents or, encourage him to go out there, be on red carpets and stuff like that. I think he wants attention because his brother, Zaire, is a big-time basketball player at Sierra Canyon High School with LeBron James' son, Bronny, if I'm not mistaken. So he's getting plenty of attention. Dwyane Wade obviously played NBA basketball for a long time, was one of the big stars in the game, got a lot of attention. His stepmom, Gabrielle Union, very well-known actress, gets a lot of attention. So he's like, well, how do I get attention? What am I going to do to get attention? Oh, that's right. I'll be transgender. And now he has attention. But what if he grows out of it and doesn't want to do it anymore? He might start playing basketball himself and get attention that way. Now what? You didn't already spent 4 years out of your life on social media as one particular thing. Now you got to try to backtrack. And you're still developing, so you're doing damage to yourself right now as a boy. Now, my thing is this. If you're an adult and you want to identify as transgender, that's your business. That's fine. I don't care. You can identify as a sun, moon, and stars. I don't care if you're an adult. That's your business. But I think we got to protect children. I think that adults have an obligation to protect children. And I don't think that Dwyane Wade and his wife, Gabrielle Union, are protecting their child or his child. And I've not heard from the birth mother at all. Like, I'm talking about radio silence. Maybe she come out and say something, but I've not seen it myself. And I don't think that she would really approve of this. I think most people don't approve of this, but they want to just not say anything or be positive because of political correctness. But I'm sorry, you're 12 years old. I don't think you should be transgender. I don't think you should be allowed to identify as transgender, period. I just don't understand people that think otherwise. It's just kind of a strange thing to me. But it is what it is. Again, thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. We're going to watch the president address the nation pretty soon here. I'm gonna have that queued up. I think I am going to do that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try to get that rocking and rolling here in a minute. Matter of fact, I'm gonna touch it right quick to see if I got it properly. Hold on. All right, that ain't it. That ain't what I wanted to do. There we go. Oh, it's backwards because I had changed it. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and just change that right now because I don't have to have it backwards. Yeah, so this is pretty much just saying that the president will address the nation pretty soon. But I'm going to go ahead and flip it back the other way because it does not have to be like that. So y'all just hang tight. That'll be right around 9 o'clock, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Alrighty. But what else is happening? There's a whole lot going on in the world. Let me see. All right. Okay, is it going to do what I want? I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Let's go ahead and. There we go. Boom. All right, so I'm back. All right. Yeah, I'm able to show it because that's on the White House YouTube page. So that's government funded. They can't copyright strike government funded stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that's straight from the that's not on Fox or CNN or anything like that. It's just straight from the president's page. All right. I thank you for the super chats. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to, who do we have? Shout out to Tom Buer. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name for your donation. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Mike F, who says, what about the Bohemian Grove? I don't know anything about that, really. I've heard about that, but I don't know much about it. So thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Charles Hunter Jr. for the thank you emoji with the namaste. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Shout out to F and who says dark skinned people are immune to corona. You know, one thing is that they thought that it would hit Africa pretty hard because, let's be clear, Africa and China are pretty much joined at the hip. They're saying that Africa is China's China, if that makes any sense. Like, China is a manufacturing place and we can just kind of offshore pollution there and stuff like that. They want to have, and cheap products, they want to have Africa be that to them in China. But yet there's not much coronavirus infiltration there, and people that, I think one guy caught it and was fine like 8 days later with no medication, if I'm not mistaken. So it is what it is. I've not heard about anybody black catching it and dying. Now, I did hear about an Asian guy in New York, not a Chinese person. He might have been Chinese, but he was not living in China. He's just in New York. He sounded American, but he caught coronavirus and is doing very badly. I think he was a doctor as well. So is it a racial component? I have no idea. People are saying it could be a weapon. I don't know what's going on, but I digress. Thank you for your donation, FN. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Miriam Vidal, who says, put AOC in charge of the coronavirus. She served hundreds of coronas and nobody ever got sick. 1000%. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to, I know I'm butchering your name, Samaric 2, who says, think the Democrats will admit Joe isn't there and begin ensuring everyone is decision helper is awesome. And who might that person be? The cabinet? Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. I think at a certain point, they may need to address it. I was watching Fox News today, and somebody from his not his cabinet, but somebody from his team, his campaign, was on there trying to defend him. And then the question was asked about his cognitive ability, and she was kind of like dodging, ducking, and weaving the question. My thing is, if you really have confidence in him, you'd be able to answer that question directly and forcefully, not just kind of like duck and dodge like you in the Matrix. But that's what was going on. So it is what it is. But thank y'all for joining, and thank you for the super chats. I definitely appreciate you. Everything is good, Technologic. How about yourself? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw that a 100-year-old Chinese man got the virus and recovered. Now, that came from China. You never know what China, it could be true, it can be false. I don't really know. But I think that the virus is just overblown. We have viruses that exist. People, unfortunately, they pass away. But you can't just put your life on hold because of a virus. You got to be able to keep on moving. Just protect yourself as well as possible, as good as you're able to do. Thank you to do your own research. You said, thank you for all the stuff you're doing and listening to whenever. He said, thank you for all the stuff you're doing, listening to whenever I'm not at work. And remember, people, do your own research. Exactly. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. Yeah, do your own research. One thing I always do is that in every video, I put links in the box. And I try to have it from a variety of sources so you're able to read information for yourself and fact check me, get more than one person saying a thing, writing about a thing. So yeah, do your own research, figure out what's going on. Don't just act like information is all false, but at the same time, be as informed as possible as to what's happening right now. All right. But yeah, Joe Biden he is wilding out. Mars, he is wilding out. But that's the guy. That's going to be the guy going forward. And there's going to be a debate coming up on Sunday. Unfortunately, I can't stream that because that's going to be on CNN and they will copyright strike you immediately. So I can't stream that one. But I will be like on my social media talking about it. Maybe I'll even do like a live stream where I'm just commenting. I don't know. We'll still see about that. But that's what's going on with that whole situation. Hopefully we just get to the spring season soon and it dies down. When Trump said that it'd go away when it gets warm, it probably won't go away totally, but I think that it'll be died down. I mean, once it's hot and it's humid, you're not going to have flu and stuff like that. There's a flu season for a reason. It's not year round. You understand? It starts like in August, and that's not everywhere. When you start having colder temperatures, people start kind of going inside. There's less humidity. That's when the virus is more able to spread. When I'm in LA, I'll be outside most of the time. I see you, Cynthia Williams. Hello. I'll be in your state tomorrow. Jericho Green, what's up, my man? Thank you for the donation. He says, I've actually heard people say coronavirus racism, WTF. Exactly. What does that really mean? I think AOC said that, talking about people not going to Chinese food spot because of coronavirus. It's like, what? People are afraid to go outside, period. People not even getting on planes. You talking about Chinese restaurants? I mean, come on. I could pretty much sit wherever I want on the plane at this particular point. They got flights going from Seattle to New York. Nah, I saw one from Seattle to LA for like $30. You know, cheap flights. Overseas, $200. Cheap flights because nobody's flying. And it's to the point where they're flying empty planes because they got to keep up their slots in the European Union. Like if you don't fly enough planes at a particular time, if you don't meet a quota, you lose your slot. So they're flying empty planes, nobody in it. So if they're flying empty planes, you can get a ticket on that for next to nothing. So people aren't just not going to Asian restaurants. They're not going anywhere. And that's because of the media panic. And that should stop because that's killing jobs. That's killing the world economy. The stock market is plunging because, I mean, you can't make money. How can you keep a stock that people are selling off their stock right now because they're losing money? That's what's causing the crash is lack of economic activity. All right. But shout out to Leo Ox, who says, thank you, ABL. Greetings to all online now. Well, thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. And thank you for your very kind words. Shout out to Brazilian American Patriotic Soldier, who says, I went to my very first Trump event. They love Brazil. The Bolsonaro's baristas, Gracies were all there uniting. Never seen such a great relationship. Yes. Hey, I tell everybody, if you've not gone to a Trump rally, you got to do it at least one time and feel the love. When I went to a Trump rally, I mean, it was so much love. People were passing around food and, you know, you talking to people, you making friends there. And it's a diverse crowd. I'm here in the South and it's a diverse crowd. We talked to this couple that happened to be gay. I didn't know they were gay. Like they were a gay couple, but they were just like regular people. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't pushing whatever they were in your face. They just were talking about, yeah, we went on a trip together, we lived together, but they didn't say anything about what they do in the bedroom. That's what I want. If you gay, don't be like just throwing that in my face. You know, when I meet somebody, I ain't talking about what I do in the bedroom. I'm gonna talk about politics and stuff like that. Just general, basic, appropriate topics. Don't tell me about your sexuality. I ain't trying to hear that. You know, so they were cool. And, you know, all races, all parts of the South. It was cool. It's a great time if you go. It's fun. It's energetic. But thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to TNN and Raw Ventrez. Now, is that Tommy Sotomayor? What's going on? If it is, shout out to you. If it's not, hey, shout out to you as well. Thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. 100%. And we have Trump speaking at about a few minutes. I think there's going to be a address to the nation at about 9 o'clock. We got about 6 minutes until then. Let me see. Ford Mustang says, how much further will the stock market drop? I don't really know. That's a good question. I have no idea. It could keep on going. I think when it starts to get warm, it'll start to just taper off. It won't be this continuous rock from the top of the Empire State Building drop. It'll eventually stop. But when that will happen, I'm not really sure. At a certain point, it has to. It has to. Shout out to Robert Tuss, who says ABL equals squared away. Thank you for your donation. Most certainly appreciate you. One thing I'm not really understanding is how people are like clearing out storage shelves, toilet paper. It's like toilet paper. You need water. You need non-perishable food items. You need guns, ammo. You need to prepare for, you know, not being able to go nowhere for a while. TP is not really that important. You can, you know, just wash yourself afterwards if you don't have no more toilet paper. But that's a different story. And I move on. The whole point is that TP, it ain't really. And if you're not going to wash your hands, then that is not what you need anyway. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going into airports. People ain't washing their hands. It's like, sir, ma'am, wash your hands. How about that? I'm not trying to see you sit down in the bathroom, doo-doo, and then bounce and not wash your hands. That's not appropriate. That's not safe. And I was seeing that. I see that all the time in the airport. And I watch for that when I'm in the airport. I watch for that. You know, if I see you leave your stall, you look dead at the sink and then leave, I'm judging you right away. Like, you're disgusting. Wash your hands, sir. How about that? So I think that this virus could start a whole new movement of people washing their hands after they get done doo-dooing. How about that? That'd be fantastic. That'd be great. Blessing in disguise. Maybe it'd be a whole new movement. Hand washing movement. That's what I want to see. Alrighty. Mike A says the AR-14s are sold out everywhere. Can't find one. Hey, me too, man. I can't find them. I don't know where they at. I want one. I want one really bad. Joe Biden said that we're going to take it. I need to get it right on before he takes it, right? Before I'm going to get grandfathered in. So he can't really, you know what I'm saying, prevent me from being able to get a new one. I'm going to hide it somewhere so he can't find it so I can have it when I need it, right? All righty. But hey, we're going to get to Trump talking in about a few minutes. It starts at 9 officially, but as soon as it comes on, I'm going to go ahead and get rocking and rolling. Yes, I did say do the Yogi Fish. I did. Yes, I did. I mean, I was always taught to wash my hands. You know, like a good example is when I went to my aunt's house one time. My aunt's like 80 years old. This is my dad's aunt. You know, my granddad's sister. It was me, my dad, and my uncle went to her house, and she was cooking food. I'm talking about all neck bone, chicken, you know, the food, all the stuff, all the things, right? And I'm getting ready to eat. I'm sitting down getting ready to eat. Now, mind you, I just left somewhere else where I washed my hands. Like I washed my hands in a different place. And she's like, looking at me sit down, get ready to eat. She was like, excuse me, sir, have you washed your hands? I was like, I just did a little while ago. She was like, I didn't see you wash your hands. So, nah, we're serious about washing our hands before you eat. If you go to the bathroom, wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. If you've been handling the trash can, taking it down to the front, wash your hands when you get back. It's simple. Simple hygiene will prevent you from getting sick. It's not going to be a panacea. Nothing is. But simple hygiene. Put on your seatbelt. It can help you in an accident. You know, basic things people just don't do. And hopefully this little scare will make people do it. That's what I want to see. Richard Kane says, I lost all my guns in a boating accident. Me too. And I thought I was the only one that had a boating accident, man. I lost all my guns, so I don't have anything. So when they come and say, give it to me, I'll be like, hey, man, go out there to the river, man. It might be out there because it was a boating accident and I lost it. So I don't know what you want me to do. Alrighty. But we got a little bit of time to go. Matter of fact, let me try to find something very quick from your favorite politician. Matter of fact, this is AOC talking about the Chinese restaurants. And we got a little bit of time before Trump comes on stage. Hold on, let's check it out right quick.
Honestly, it sounds almost so silly to say, but there's a lot of restaurants that are feeling the pain of racism, where people are literally not patroning Chinese restaurants. They're not patroning Asian restaurants.
Is it patroning or patronizing? I don't want to be ignorant. Is it patroning? Is she right or wrong? I don't know.
Because of just straight up racism around the coronavirus. So,
but number one, if somebody did not go to a Asian restaurant because of the coronavirus or the Wuhan virus, more, accurate, is that racism or is it just fear or is it just being smart or practical? Now, personally, I don't care. I'm going to Panda Express, the hood Chinese spot, and I'm getting my egg rolls. I'm getting my General Tso chicken. I'm getting all that. Don't care. I'm gonna go, and if it's a small line, good for me. I can get my food quicker. How about that? I don't care. Racism is not racism. It's just trying to protect yourself. That's almost like saying it's racist to not travel to China right now. It's like, why would I go there? That's where the disease is at. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't know if Mr. Chinese store owner has been to China recently. He might not even feel the symptoms. So it's just a practical thing to do to not go. Now, personally, I'm going. I'm washing my hands and my face, and I'm digging in, period. If I'm hungry, matter of fact, I was at an Asian spot this week, like 2 days ago. They weren't Chinese, but they were Asian. And I punished it. The food was delicious. And guess what? Before I ate the food, I washed my hands. Before I went to the place to get the food, I washed my hands. It's simple, and I feel great. I've not heard about any coronavirus out here. Okay, so it's patronizing or patroning? I'm seeing mixed responses. Let me see. October Scorpio says, don't worry, the coronavirus won't last long. It was made in China. Hilarious. That is top tier. Thank you for that, Joe, and your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. But that's real though. that shoddy Chinese craftsmanship, it ain't really hitting on 2 cents. Not at all. Okay, we got Trump.
My fellow Americans, tonight I want to speak with you about our nation's unprecedented response to the coronavirus outbreak that started in China and is now spreading throughout the world. Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic. We are marshaling the full power of the federal government and the private sector to protect the American people. This is the most aggressive and comprehensive effort to confront a foreign virus in modern history. I am confident that by counting and continuing to take these tough measures, we will significantly reduce the threat to our citizens, and we will ultimately and expeditiously defeat this virus. From the beginning of time, nations and people have faced unforeseen challenges, including large-scale and very dangerous health threats. This is the way it always was and always will be. It only matters how you respond, and we are responding with great speed and professionalism. Our team is the best anywhere in the world. At the very start of the outbreak, we instituted sweeping travel restrictions on China and put in place the first federally mandated quarantine in over 50 years. We declared a public health emergency and issued the highest level of travel warning on other countries as the virus spread its horrible infection. And taking early, intense action, we have seen dramatically fewer cases of the virus in the United States than are now present in Europe. The European Union failed to take the same precautions and restrict travel from China and other hotspots. As a result, a large number of new clusters in the United States were seeded by travelers from Europe. After consulting with our top government health professionals, I have decided to take several strong but necessary actions to protect the health and well-being of all Americans. To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. The new rules will go into effect Friday at midnight. These restrictions will be adjusted subject to conditions on the ground. There will be exemptions for Americans who have undergone appropriate screenings, and these prohibitions will not only apply to the tremendous amount of trade and cargo, but various other things as we get approval. Anything coming from Europe to the United States is what we are discussing. These restrictions will also not apply to the United Kingdom. At the same time, we are monitoring the situation in China and South Korea, and as their situation improves, we will reevaluate the restrictions and warnings that are currently in place for a possible early opening. Earlier this week, I met with the leaders of health insurance industry who have agreed to waive all co-payments for coronavirus treatments, extend insurance coverage to these treatments, and to prevent surprise medical billing. We are cutting massive amounts of red tape to make antiviral therapies available in record time. These treatments will significantly reduce the impact and reach of the virus. Additionally, last week I signed into law an $8.3 billion funding bill to help CDC and other government agencies fight the virus and support vaccines, treatments, and distribution of medical supplies. Testing capabilities are expanding rapidly day by day. We are moving very quickly. The vast majority of Americans, the risk is very, very low. Young and healthy people can expect to recover fully and quickly if they should get the virus. The highest risk is for elderly population with underlying health conditions. The elderly population must be very, very careful. In particular, we are strongly advising that nursing homes for the elderly suspend all medically unnecessary visits. In general, older Americans should also avoid non-essential travel in crowded areas. My administration is coordinating directly with communities with largest outbreaks, and we have issued guidance on school closures, social distancing, and reducing large gatherings. Smart action today will prevent the spread of the virus tomorrow. Every community faces different risks, and it is critical for you to follow the guidelines of your local officials who are working closely with our federal health experts, and they are the best. For all Americans, it is essential that everyone take extra precautions and practice good hygiene. Each of us has a role to play in defeating this virus. Wash your hands, clean often used surfaces, cover your face and mouth if you sneeze or cough, and most of all, if you are sick or not feeling well, stay home. To ensure that working Americans impacted by the virus can stay home without fear of financial hardship, I will soon be taking emergency action, which is unprecedented, to provide financial relief. This will be targeted for workers who are ill, quarantined, or caring for others due to coronavirus. I will be asking Congress to take legislative action to extend this relief. Because of the economic policies that we have put into place over the last 3 years, we have the greatest economy anywhere in the world by far. Our banks and financial institutions are fully capitalized and incredibly strong. Our unemployment is at a historic low. This vast economic prosperity gives us flexibility, reserves, and resources to handle any threat that comes our way. This is not a financial crisis. This is just a temporary moment of time that we will overcome together as a nation and as a world. However, to provide extra support for American workers, families, and businesses, tonight I am announcing the following additional actions. I am instructing the Small Business Administration to exercise available authority to provide capital and liquidity to firms affected by the coronavirus. Effective immediately, the SBA will begin providing economic loans in affected states and territories. These low-interest loans will help small businesses overcome temporary economic disruptions caused by the virus. To this end, I am asking Congress to increase funding for this program by an additional $50 billion. Using emergency authority, I will be instructing the Treasury Department to defer tax payments without interest or penalties for certain individuals and businesses negatively impacted. This action will provide more than $200 billion of additional liquidity to the economy. Finally, I am calling on Congress to provide Americans with immediate payroll tax relief. Hopefully, they will consider this very strongly. We are at a critical time in the fight against the virus. We made a life-saving move with early action on China. Now we must take the same action with Europe. We will not delay. I will never hesitate to take any necessary steps to protect the lives, health, and safety of the American people. I will always put the well-being of America first. If we are vigilant and we can reduce the chance of infection, which we will significantly impede the transmission of the virus. The virus will not have a chance against us. No nation is more prepared or more resilient than the United States. We have the best economy, the most advanced health care, and the most talented doctors, scientists, and researchers anywhere in the world. We are all in this together. We must put politics aside, stop the partisanship, and unify together as one nation and one family. As history has proven time and time again, Americans always rise to the challenge and overcome adversity. Our future remains brighter than anyone can imagine. Acting with compassion and love, we will heal the sick, care for those in need, help our fellow citizens, and emerge from this challenge stronger and more unified than ever before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
All right, and there we have it. So Trump gave his address. So I guess the main takeaway is that all travel, I guess, to the U.S. from Europe will be banned for 30 days, except for UK. That's interesting. I'm not really sure why UK is exempt, but that's what I heard. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. So, and then also financial assistance for those that are quarantined, because if you've been quarantined for a long time, you missing work, you can't get money, it'd be assistance for you. Now, my question would be, how many are actually under quarantine right now? It's probably not that many. I think the reaction is necessary, but it's over. I think the reaction is too much, but it's necessary. The reaction is because of the panic. I think he's trying to calm the panic. I hope that it doesn't have the opposite reaction, which is to cause more panic. But right now, he's just trying to calm the panic because the markets are crashing. Everything is in a disarray. Stopping the European travel is going to be a problem because the airline industry will suffer. And if you're trying to go to Europe, trying to get, some of them cheap flights, that's not going to happen, at least for the next 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. I think you might go to UK or something like that, and that's fine, but you can't go nowhere else. Because if you can't come from Europe, how you going to get there? You see what I'm saying? Because you got to have a round trip, unless you're just going to go over there and be over there. So that's pretty much what it is. So now, I think the UK may be exempt because, Charles Turner, you said they're not in the EU anymore. That's part of it, or they're leaving the EU, but also because they probably cracked down on their migration and immigration. If they have, I'm not sure if they have or not, but if they have, they probably have a more secure society than the rest of Europe, which is pretty much just open to whoever. And I'm not really sure why UK specifically is given a pass in this whole situation. But what do you guys think about what Trump said? Do you think it was the right thing to do, wrong thing to do? I think he had to do something because of all the panic. I mean, the markets, he kept saying, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. And the markets kept tanking. People kept getting their jobs lost. People kept getting quarantined. People kept panicking. So it's like, what do I do to stop the panic? Do I wait it out? Or do I just try to do something right now to try to end the panic? Will this actually end the panic or will it aid in it? I can't really tell. I don't really know. People were saying they thought that Trump sounded like he's sick right now. I think he's tired. It's late at night. He got the weight of the world on his shoulders. You're dealing with coronavirus all the time. You're trying to run the country. You're doing so many things at once. And you're 3 years old. At a certain point, you get tired. A regular person that's like much younger than Trump would get tired if they do all of what he does. You just sound tired. And he's reading from a teleprompter, which is not what he used to doing. He may read from a prompter here and there to get some of his points, but normally he's just talking. When he's at a rally, he's just talking and he's energetic because all the people that are around him. But just at the Oval Office at a time like this, you don't want to be so raucous and energetic, and he's tired, obviously. That's what's going on. All right, Mitchell Oates, thank you for your donation, Mitchell Oates. He says UK has 459 cases right now. Okay, that makes sense. They're low on their cases. They probably got it locked down pretty well as well. So I think that by the time the travel ban is up, the virus will be gone. Or not gone, but it won't really be a thing. It'll be warm because think about what time it is, right? It's like March 11th right now. So April 11th, it'll be springtime. It'll be much warmer. Bees and birds and everything else will be out. So it won't be this kind of wintry transition thing we're going through right now. It'll be much warmer. All right. Yeah, it sounded serious. And he did seem tired, but also very serious. Okay. All right. I'm going to get to the call. Thank you all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. I don't have that much time for today's show because I got to get up in the morning, but I'll be here for a while answering calls, probably like another hour answering calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me go ahead and get Skype fired up right quick. Let me go ahead and get rocking and rolling. And again, thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. Yeah, see, the world economy is based on people trading and traveling. That's what's disrupting the market because of the way that the world industry is set up. It's hard to break away from that. That's just the reality of the situation. Yeah, I think anybody would be worn out if they were seriously trying to make this whole thing be better and not just sitting back and letting everybody else do everything. All right. So again, the big takeaway here is that there is a 30-day travel ban from Europe to the United States, except for the United Kingdom, which is exempt for some reason. All right. So that's what that is. I like what he said at first, the coronavirus that started in China, rather than calling it the China virus or the Wuhan virus. He said what he wanted to say without saying it. You understand what I'm saying? So that was great. Shout out to my man Carmine Sabia on Twitter. He says, I cannot believe this. Chris Cuomo and Jim Acosta are concerned about xenophobia by calling coronavirus a foreign virus. The nation is in a crisis, and these grandstanding nitwits care about how something sounds. Exactly. What is a big deal? It's not, people got to stop this whole thing here. People just got to, cut it out. I'll fix this right quick. Y'all hold on. All right. Let me go ahead and... There we go. We're fixed. And let's go ahead and get to my phone settings to turn off the ringer right quick. And hold on. Let me get to it there. And here we are. Okay. Let's get. All right, calling you on the line. We're speaking to 607.
ABL, good evening. This is Chuck calling from North Carolina.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Listened to your show and also the president addressing the nation. Honestly, personally, I think the president was extremely presidential, trying to keep America calm, and also trying to say, hey, this is a big problem, but we'll live through this. We'll get through this, and we've dealt with worse.
We definitely have, and I think that's the main thing we got to focus on is that we've dealt with worse. There have been other issues that have happened in the nation in recent history. And the panic has to come to a stop because the panic is doing more harm than the virus right now.
And honestly, I do agree with you on that one. I'm not going to lie to you 100% that this virus, personally for me, actually really does have me bothered because I happen to have a younger child who's 5 years old. He was born very premature. His immune system is not the greatest. So from my personal perspective, if he gets this, it will probably kill him. That's for me. So that's where my panic comes into play.
But one thing they said is that it mostly affects like elderly people and young people have pretty much been spared. Now I understand with the immune system situation, I understand that, but I think the main thing is with elderly people.
And I also happen to have a mother who happens to be 72 years of age who just got done with cancer surgery and going through chemo right now.
Yeah.
So you can understand, for me personally, I am not panicking. I'm being extremely cautious, I guess you could say. It's the best way I can explain it.
Right.
And like today, I live in Jayville, North Carolina, which is right on the coast. And when I went there today, after the WHO actually officially declared a pandemic, which I knew was going to happen anyway, I went ahead and was like, all right, time for me to go ahead and finalize and finish my actual preparation for this pandemic or problem. And we have, I think, 6 or 7 cases in the city of Raleigh, North Carolina, which is 4 hours away from me. And where I'm at, the Walmart shelves are completely empty of disinfectant, toilet paper, which I don't understand why, and already. So I'm like, all right, I'll go ahead and, get a bunch of canned food, go ahead and get a bunch of rice, because I don't believe we're going to run out of water. I really don't. Tomorrow I'm going to go get some gasoline for my generator in case I lose power, which I doubt. And like, and also bought some more water, I guess you could say. And like a couple of ladies while I was in the parking lot literally said, hey, don't worry, it's in God's hands, this, that, and the other. Well, then I said to him, I was like, well, if we're best case scenario, if nothing happens, I'll be ready for the hurricane season anyway.
Right, I'm with you.
So, I mean, honestly, I greatly appreciate what this president's doing. He's trying to keep the United States calm. And I understand, this will blow over. I really do. And honestly, I'm really angry at the MSM really inciting panic. You said it yourself earlier on the phone. Like, they're actually causing more problems. Honestly, the true, real disease is not the coronavirus. It's actually the panic that they're creating.
Right.
And honestly, personally, I think they should be held accountable for this, especially if people start to actually lose their lives. They're inducing panic. Seriously.
I hear you, man. I'm
going to kill people.
I'm with you, man.
I mean, I understand. I understand people being cautious. Yeah, I like myself. As I said, I got a mom who's very old. I got a young child who has a very weak immune system because he was born that way. I get it. But for myself personally and my other son, yeah, if we get it, we're probably going to shake it off because we're decently healthy. But I mean, seriously, they need to stop dealing with this panic, because not only the fact of the panic of actually the health side of the coin, also on the monetary side of the coin.
Right, I'm with you.
I don't know if you ever played the game Plague Inc. It's actually a mobile game you can play on your phone. One of the things you do to actually win the game is to incite panic in the countries, to destroy the countries, so that they actually can't create a cure. That's what they're doing here.
Right, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Well, I got a lot of calls on the line, so I got to get to a few more. So thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, one last thing. I apologize. It'll take 10 seconds. Hey, Red Pill Barista, you need to come up with a YouTube channel. Have a good night, ABL.
Thank you for the call.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Don't be afraid to call. All righty. And shout out to everybody that's called so far. I got a probably abbreviated show tonight. I'm going to try to get a little bit of sleep. Let's go to, all right, call you on the line, 647. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Ivan, man.
All right, Ivan, what's going on?
What's going on? What that Biden clip, man? What's wrong with Biden?
I don't know, man. I can't call it. Something ain't right.
No, it's extremely aggressive. I think they should let the primary for the Democratic play this course. I mean, it's Biden. They got to go with whatever person is. If it's Bernie, they should go with Bernie. But they should stop trying to take it away from Bernie. If Bernie get more of the votes and then give it to Biden, because he apparently is not doing well. He's probably 30 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, he could do the job. I don't think he can do that anymore. I think will be the make me laugh. It will be the Trump in the other side. So I don't want that. I don't think that's too efficient especially will hurt the Democrats if he gets elected. If he becomes the president, it will be a disaster. So it would be better for them to let it play this course. If it's him, it's him. If it's Bernie, it's Bernie. Second thing that I want to take is not that the media is against Trump. It's just not true. He created his own problems. First, why he will say that the numbers, the mortality rate from the CDC and the World Health Organization are wrong. Why he will say that?
Is that what he said? When he said that?
In an interview with Sean Hannity.
So what was his exact words? Do you know?
It's 3.4% at this moment. That's what the mortality rate. He said it was way below that number was 100. So
the number is not final, because that's what
That's what I just said. Up to date. So what you said, you repeat with the CDC.
I mean, people I'm going to respond, sir. I'm going to respond. Okay. Now the number. It's irresponsible to repeat that number, because it makes it seem like that is what it is without being final. Because the thing is, you don't know what the spread is. You don't know how many people have it. you got China and information coming out of there that's kind of wrong. You got to have the full scope of what's going on to get an accurate number. The 3.4 is inaccurate. That's the whole thing. You shouldn't repeat that number. Wait. I'm not finished. You should not repeat that number if you know that it's inaccurate.
So okay, let me try to digest the crazy statement that you just said. The CDC and the whole organization, they are the one who got the best, the more specific numbers because they are the one who got the data from all the cases that have been reported worldwide, right? This is the organization that, there's no other organization that have better numbers than this.
Get to your point.
No, it's not my point. It's the truth. If we get in the information from the CDC to how the virus is spread, how long the virus stayed in the environment, the CDC is the organization that, and the World Health Organization, the one that has that information. I don't think no one else does. No doctors. I know there are a lot of doctors talking about the flu. This is not like the flu. They are the one that work with the partners, with the scientists that are doing research. The CDC does. Right?
They're able to give you the best information that we have right now, but they also say that it's not complete information. So when people go out there and they say 3.5%, they're repeating an inaccurate number because they don't have all the information. The CDC will tell you we don't know the full scope we don't have all the cases, so we can't give you a final number because we don't know the scope. This is what it is based upon. Wait, I'm not done talking, sir. This is what it is based on what we have right now, but we don't know the final number. Some people say 3.5%. It's irresponsible to say that because what you're doing there is driving panic because when they say 3.5%, they'll say that's X amount of times higher than the flu. Then they try to say the inaccurate statement that it's deadlier than the flu because of the inaccurate number, 3.5%. When we don't know if it's deadlier than the flu or not.
Okay. So do you know, Matt, do you know how you get a percentage? Up to date.
I've already, you're asking me a question that's irrelevant because nothing to do with what I just said. Sir, you're asking me a question that's irrelevant because I just explained to you that, listen, I'm going to put you on mute. You can't solve a math problem if you don't have all the numbers. So we talking about, can you add, is that in the third? It's irrelevant because you don't have all the numbers. In order to solve a problem, you got to have everything in the problem. That's just, you can guess and say, it's 3.5 because of what we have right now, but we know that's not everything we need right now. So what are you talking about?
I'm not talking about, I'm reflecting the number from the CDC. I don't have the data.
We're kind of going in circles. So say what you're going to say and move on.
So he got that wrong. So he got in trouble because of that. Then he said that anyone could get tested. He said we got plenty of tests. Anyone, and you know what he said? He said the test it is not as good as the letter, the phone call that he did with Ukraine. What the phone call what he did with Ukraine got to do with the testing? Like, this guy is crazy. He's just insane. So first of all, we don't have enough test kits because Penn said we only have 100,000. We don't have enough.
So how many do we need?
Hello?
So how many do we need?
Dude, we need as much as we need.
So what's the number that we need?
Well, you can't just say that anyone could get.
Sir, the question I asked you was,
don't have enough.
How many do we need? You can do math, right?
Yeah, we do. We don't know. But
so we have right now we have 100,000 tests, sir. Listen, sir. I'm gonna talk.
Don't stop defending.
So we have 100,000 right now. How many do we need right now?
Okay, so you say anyone that wants to get tested.
Sir, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
How many people?
If we have 100,000 right now, sir, if we have 100,000 tests right now, how many do we need? You're not answering the question.
We need millions.
Why do we need millions? Why do we need millions?
How many people live in the United States?
It doesn't matter. People got to have symptoms before they get tested. You don't just test everybody.
Anyone who wants to get tested can get tested.
And why would you want one if you don't have any symptoms at all? If you're not even having a sniffle or a cough or nothing? I mean, come on. You got to think. People are going to be able to get it if they need it. It ain't going to be like everybody in the whole world that needs a test. It's simple. I'm right about that, but get to your next point. You have limited time.
Okay, so you got that wrong. Then he was talking about the wall. We need to build the wall rapidly to help to stop the spread the virus. The war won't expect to spread the virus. This is ignorant.
Why wouldn't it help?
The war? You're going to tell me the war is going to expect to stop spread the virus? Are you freaking kidding me?
But why wouldn't it help? Why wouldn't it help?
Dude.
So
the
what
war is going to stop the spread the virus. Are you insane? Are you in your right
the
mind?
question was, why wouldn't it help?
It's hard to defend him.
Sir,
Look,
the question, I asked you a question. You're muted right now, so nobody can hear you. The question was, why wouldn't it help?
The war can't help to stop the virus.
But why?
Spread the virus. Come on.
But why?
Because it can't stop the spread the virus.
Oh, because it can't. Okay.
First of all, you're talking about Mexico. Mexico only have reported 10 cases so far. United States have way much more.
Okay, Mexico is not the only place that has people come from the southern border. Okay, people come from all over the world to come through that particular way. They caught some Chinese. They caught some Chinese nationals hitting in the boat at the southern border. So don't act like it's only Mexicans that come over.
The Chinese with the virus gonna look. Stop the BS. You know it's stop. Then they started talking about the war in Afghanistan, but sharing the bloody war in Afghanistan has helped the virus.
I got you.
Come on, you cannot make this up.
I got a lot of calls on the line. I'm a limited time, so thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
I know it's hard to defend it.
All right. Shout out to my man Ivan for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for joining. I definitely appreciate you guys. The virus is spread by human beings, right? It ain't just like something you can breathe out in the air and then somebody can just inhale it from a million miles away. It comes from contact with a human being, right? So if you build a wall up and you're preventing the illegal aliens coming in from all over the world, wouldn't that stem the tide of the virus proliferation? I mean, I think that just kind of make common sense, but what do I know? It's the same thing as stopping travel. You're banning travel from China and Europe to prevent people coming over here, the same as the wall would do. You know, it's simple. It's not really that hard to understand. But let me get to the next call. 702, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, this is the Red Pill Barista.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Well, first of all, I wanted to say to all the people in San Francisco who thought it was funny that the homeless and the illegal aliens were crapping on the street and in Los Angeles, I hope they thought that was funny before what's happening now, because it's not funny anymore. Let me tell you something. For a second, I just want to divert something for a second, if I can, Mr. Logan. I watched a YouTube video with you and that soy boy, Desiree. Is that his name?
Destiny.
Destiny. Okay, thank you. Couldn't tell from the video. But let me tell you something. That guy I have to apologize to you because you tried to present yourself as a calm, rational human being while that man was putting you down, making you feel like just because you're an African-American man that you have to be taken care of, like the white man's burden. Shame on that guy. Let me tell you two quick examples about that. Your point about redlining, if you would look into the commission in the 1950s, the Congressional Commission Against Anti-Semitism, they said that redlining hurt more Jewish people than it did any other group from 1948 to 1955. So your point was well taken care of. Secondly, when he talked about how there was a heliocentric view, and you said academicians change their mind, and that soy boy comes back and says, no, it's a religious one. Well, you damn fool, if you look at the Sorbonne, and you look at all the universities in the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th centuries, they were academics run by religious groups. They were the academicians. What the hell was he talking about? But I'm telling you, I am tired of people who act like they're doing for the greater good. That's what happened with the Wuhan virus. Let these people in. Let these Chinese in. Let's buy their cheap goods. Otherwise, it's racist, racist, racist. And what happens? We have a pandemic now. And what do? They sit there on their tablets at home playing video games, acting like everything's cool, or they act like they don't give a crap because they're 20 and 30 years old, and they say, I'm not going to die from the virus. I don't care what happens with the virus. And so they're all smug about it. I'll tell you something. This virus is going to prove to be bad. And I'll tell you, when Alex Jones was talking about FEMA camps 5 years ago, and he was talking about UN General Order 51, which marshaled the globe, not the United States, the globe in a pandemic, people laughed at him and said, you psycho, you nut job, you tinfoil hat idiot. And now look what's happening. Seattle's being locked down. There's playing sports now without people. Who would dream of this just 2 months ago? But yet when these theories were brought back 5 years ago about FEMA camps, when they were moving body bags and other things into these camps in Montana and Wyoming and Indiana, people laughed while they were enjoying the fruits of their labor, watching stupid football players and stupid basketball players play. And while they were debating over stupid movies, the United States and the rest of the world was moving in action. I'll tell you, it doesn't seem like it's stupid anymore. Don't think you out there that the FEMA camps, and don't think about the UN, that they're not planning something. I'll tell you, it's moving fast. If Trump has to cripple the airline industry for a month, this is serious, and it may not even be the virus. It may be, like you said, Mr. Logan, an overreaction to the virus. But the point may not be the virus. It might be control. Are you people blind? When are you going to start realizing this? Next is going to come trade. When you take your car in to get parts, when you start to go to other places and they tell you, sorry, there's no more parts left, maybe, just maybe they'll hit you then. Now about Harvey Weinstein, that 23, 27 years, whatever that fat slob got. I'll tell you something about that guy. All of Hollywood knew about him. All of Hollywood laid in his bed. All of Hollywood had sex with him. But now with the Me Too movement, they all act like innocent lambs. They knew what Harvey Weinstein was doing. They knew exactly what he was doing, and they didn't care because they wanted the movie parts. And now they say, help me, I'm a victim. BS. It's like with Joe Biden. Don't you think that something's wrong that the Democratic Party is nominating, especially in time of crisis, a senile old man who can't remember his name? Is anybody out there not suspicious? How do we know that he's not going to nominate Hillary Clinton as vice president? Maybe this is a grand plan all along. The Clintons aren't done by a long shot. How do we know that they are not setting us up for him to fall or to be removed or something wrong? It's really funny that he's now the candidate. This is ridiculous. Nobody realizes this, and if they think I'm just a screaming nut, I see it in San Francisco. It's been 2 or 3 years already with the government of San Francisco, with these crazy laws and with these crapping on the street, and nobody stopped it. And now what's happening, maybe, just maybe, when you can't get your food anymore, or maybe, just maybe, when you can't fix your car anymore, it'll hit home. Who knows what's going on now? But I'll tell you something, Americans. If you don't start waking up, and if you think that it's not going to touch you in some way because you're 25, 30 years old and you're immune, you're far from it, because this may not be just about a virus anymore. And it's happening in California. It's happening in other places. You thought it was funny out there when San Francisco and Los Angeles, the two biggest cities on the West Coast, were actually being grinded into the ground? You thought it was just liberalism. It's not just liberalism. There's a grand plan out there. And if you don't think it's true, just wait. Now, the virus might be gone in 6 months. This might be a test. It might blow over, but that would be the best case scenario. But remember, last thing before I go, they have been trying to get Trump on Russia, on the Ukraine. His government was running good, and now this happens. This happens out of China, who we just happened to have a trade war with. Wake up, America. Wake up, because it could happen to you. And Mr. Logan, congratulations for holding your ground against that simpering, ugly boy that debated you. That was disgusting. That was condescending to you as an African-American male. And I am not a liberal. I am not a soy boy. I am not a kind of guy that panders to people. But what Desiree did to you was disgusting. And I'll tell you, D. Wade likes D. And that's why his boy right now is running around in a girly suit. Man, I'll tell you something, D. Wade. get your act together, because you're not going to influence 5- and 6-year-old children. Who cares what you throw a basketball in? With this virus, ain't nobody going to watch you anyway. Have a great evening, Mr. Logan.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to my man Red Pill Parisa for the call. Now we got some breaking news. Okay, we got a few things going on. Now let's get to the news, because it's a whole lot happening right here. If you're just not coming in, please like the video, share it, do all that good stuff. If you missed Trump's speech, his address, a couple main things that he said. All travel from Europe except for UK will be banned for 30 days. That's the first thing. He also was talking about some financial relief for people that are held under quarantine. They can't go out there and work. And he basically said, let's have some calm come back to the country, because you have industries dying and people losing their shirt behind this whole situation. The stock market is plummeting, so he wants to have calm. That was the main thing I took. But also, Tom Hanks and his wife have coronavirus. Now, they're in Australia right now. I think they're filming something, or he's filming something. And they both have coronavirus down there. They said that they got tested. They were having like a fever and chills and stuff like that, and they have it. And they are currently in Australia. Also, the NBA has suspended their season. Okay, so that's going on. Now, that doesn't mean that it's suspended forever. It just means for a moment. I think I saw the Golden State Warriors say that. Matter of fact, I think a game that was being played right now as we're talking got suspended. Like, it got postponed, like, as they were playing or before they started. And they said that there won't be any activity in the arena until March 21st, at least until March 21st. So it could just be a temporary pause. When you say suspended, that don't mean like, presidential campaign where they just quit. It just means literally suspended, like, for next few games, there won't be any more NBA, because they're floating around ideas like having games with nobody in the stands, no fans in the crowd, all this, that, and the third. So that's not going to be the case. They're just going to not have any games, period, for a while. Not sure how long, not sure when they're going to lift that suspension, but the NBA is currently being suspended, like right now as we speak. What else? Oh, here's a graphic for you guys. I don't know how old this graphic is, but I think it pretty much encapsulates what's going on. Okay, you can see it right here. Now, this is for the 2018-2019 flu season versus the coronavirus. And that season you had 35.5 million cases of the flu, 34,200 deaths, and 136 child deaths. Coronavirus, 400 plus cases, 21 deaths, and 0 child deaths. And this number has gone up, but not by that much. There may be 30 deaths, maybe like 800 to 1,000 cases. Still, look at the difference between the flu and the coronavirus. Even if you double and triple the coronavirus numbers from this graph, or this little graphic I showed you, is nowhere touching the flu. People say, oh, there's vaccines, and I can't tell. You got 34,000 people that die. I can't really tell. I mean, maybe it could be worse, but I'm just saying, I think the coronavirus is really just, or pardon me, the Wuhan virus is overblown. But let's get to some more calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And let's go 203. Oh, I was a little bit too slow to the trigger. Let's go 918 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Trey.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Actually, have you heard about Roosevelt Twine?
No.
Okay. Now, this is, perfect time, because Joe Biden talked about how he doesn't want to take away the guns. Well, Roosevelt Twine he's a New Jersey armored car driver.
Mm-hmm.
He gets pulled over by the cops because he had he had a legal tent, and he was registered. He had his permit to carry. I think he had his gun registered, and he needed a gun for his job because he's armored car driver, and he gets arrested because he has hollow point bullets, which his job provided him. So he could be facing, I forgot how many years he could be facing. Usually it's like 2 to 3 years for transporting hollow bullets that his job gave him.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yep. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then they talk about, and I hear about people from like that type of, New York and stuff like that, people getting simple gun charges and getting 2 to 3 years. Because remember Plexico Burst, the wide receiver?
Yeah.
For the Giants, like he got most places that he wouldn't even get in trouble for what he did, but he had to serve 2 to 3 years because he actually shot his own self. I'm like, man, that's enough punishment by himself. He shot himself. He's an NFL player. And then he gets locked up for 2 years, loses 2 years. And from this story, I heard some different laws that they have in New York. They have I guess if you have a certain gun and you want to shoot it, you have to get it. You have to keep it at the shooting range because you can't transport that particular gun in the New York tri-state area. Just mad craziness.
Yeah. It's all kind of little laws like that kind of get you tripped up. And that's the whole purpose of these people. They put little laws on the books to get you tripped up, to make you not want to even have your weapon. They'll say, oh, we're not restricting, we're not trying to take your weapons, but they'll put little laws like that out there to make you not want to have it. Or if you do have it, you can get easily jammed up legally.
Yeah. So I was hoping, man, you do a video on that because this needs to be out. I saw Colin Noor. I saw his video first. He's the first person I saw talk about it. Because, like, they can get him. They can get anybody. Anybody could be done. That could ruin. I mean, this potentially could ruin his life if nobody speaks up. So,
that's right.
But that's all I wanted to talk about. So.
All right. Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah, that was crazy. A guy that was driving an armored vehicle, I think he was transporting hollow tip bullets for his job, and he got locked up for that, or he got arrested for that. It was crazy, like some kind of crazy rule on the books. I think that was in New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully that gets cleared up. Now, we have more breaking news. This is not Wuhan virus related, but you guys know I've been covering this whole Ilhan Omar thing, right? How she was married to her brother. What's my man's name? Ahmed Nursayi Elmi. That's her brother, because her name back in Somalia was Ilhan Nursayi Elmi. Her brother's name, Ahmed Nursayi Elmi. Now, her actual husband, the guy she got married to in the religious ceremony, but not married to legally up until recently, then she got divorced, with a different story. I digress. His name was, or is, Ahmed Hersey. Now, she got married to Ahmed Nursayi Elmi while she was in Islamic marriage, not legal, to her actual husband. And that guy was most likely her brother for immigration purposes. Okay. Now, she gets divorced from him, the brother, right around election time. Then she gets married to her actual husband legally and divorced like last year or this year. Now, after she gets divorced, or while she's still with the actual husband, she has an affair with a guy by the name of Tim Mynett. Now, Tim Mynett was married as well to Beth Mynett, much older than him. And of course, he's a white man. Now, Tim Mynett was one of her employees for the campaign. He was a vendor. She gave his company like $200,000 or more for services. Now, the prevailing thought is that she was using him to basically embezzle money from her campaign to give it back to her. Because you can't just use your campaign money for your own personal expenses. But if you're giving it to a quote unquote vendor or an employee, and they just happen to give you a little bit back, or buy you a plane ticket, or buy you a bag, or buy you a car, then is that embezzlement? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But they got married. They got married, and she put it on Instagram and everything. That's her and Tim Mynett, 1,000%. And the caption, you'll freak out. It says, got married from partners in politics to life partners. So blessed. That's him right there. That's Tim Mynett. Now, I don't know if he's still married. I presume that he got divorced. And by the way, I think his wife divorced him. And in the divorce proceedings, she said that Ilhan Omar stole him from her. So obviously she was telling the truth because they're married right now. And this is recent. They started dating like a year or two ago and they're married. That's haram, Ilhan Omar. That's very haram. You can't go to Somalia like that. You might get messed around. But different story. I'll move on. Let's get to the next call. 818, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, hi, is ABL?
Yes, it is.
Hi, ABL. This is Marina calling you from California. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. And hello to you from my little family here, my little 10-year-old who called, and my husband and I. We wish you a fair, good day today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. We love you. So we're calling today. I don't want to get too much into your business, but we're calling because we're excited that you're going to be in California. We don't know if you're making your plans known to all of your California fans, or if that's something that's still under wraps.
Well, I can't really say exactly what I'm there for, but yeah, I'll be there. And I plan on coming back. My time's going to be kind of limited when I'm there, but I'm going to try to get around as much as I can. But the reason why I'm there, I can't really say. But y'all will see it pretty soon. And hopefully you guys enjoy what I do.
No, absolutely. We're not trying to, we're not trying to do that. It's just that, man, you're such a big superstar now. It's like you stand yourself. I don't know how you put up with it. I mean, you're such a, you're a mega star now. I was just following up. The whole. I'm trying to figure out what I keep hearing people talking about the toilet paper thing. I don't know if that's just like a thing. I mean, because at first everybody was rushing for water, now they're rushing for toilet paper. I wonder, what's going on with the toilet paper, man? Is that like a perishable thing, or?
I don't understand what the rush is. I just don't get it. I was seeing the same thing during the Freddie Gray riots in Baltimore. People were looting the store and getting toilet paper. I'm like, is that really the thing you need? Like right now during a riot, is toilet paper, like bundles of it. I'm talking about. It's like on their back, like it's some type of like they got hay for their horse. I don't understand what the whole big rush is, but for some reason people need it. I don't get it.
Yeah, because I mean, like when everybody was rushing, I kept seeing all these videos. I think it was you. You were sharing your posters and the pictures. I believe it was from you, or God knows who. But everybody was sharing all these Costco people raiding the Costco's, and everybody running out of water, running out of this and that and the other. And my son and I just casually go into a local CVS for something, and there's cases and cases and cases of bottled water for $2. It's for $2.99, and there's just tons of them. And my son says, "Hey, Mom, look, there's more water than there is alcohol at CVS."
Wow.
And I keep hearing about all these outages and whatnot. I'm like, okay, so should we all run out and grab the last of whatever toilet paper, or what? I'm pretty sure you don't have a general answer for that. But another thing too is I know that we're supposed to keep calm heads and whatnot, but I just got done hearing a Tucker Carlson video, and he I was pretty calm about about the whole flu and everything. I was like one of these, it's like, oh, the flu is worse, this and that. And I just heard his video, and I got to tell you, honest to God, he pretty much kind of put the fear of God in me, because what he says is like China has been given so much of our medicine control, which is, be it whether they're producing 98% of our antibiotics, but basically also the raw materials that we need for, if we were to make our own medicine. They provide most of our raw material, and they're kind of saying, hey, we got control of it, and if we want, we can just cut you guys off, and you guys have to fend for yourselves. And after that little video, I got to tell you, I did kind of, like I said a second ago, put the fear of God in me a little bit. What say you?
Well, I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, there's a certain kind of supply chain that's been going on for a long time, and you got to have all sides clicking for it to work. And if we can't get what we need from them, then they can get what they need from us. So it's a dependent relationship. It shouldn't really be like that, but they need us as we need them. So I think we should produce more of our own things over here, but I don't think that it's really a thing to worry about at this particular time.
Right. That makes sense. It's just the, if anything, it's just the people getting scared and making the market, do what it's doing. But it's kind of like, my thing is that on my Facebook, everybody who's on the left is gung-ho, absolutely blaming everything that's done on Trump already, and I'm like, obviously, we know that it's like, well, first of all, he didn't do anything to bring this thing, he didn't cause it, he didn't, stir it up, he didn't, do anything. But the thing is, honestly, it's like, it's the only thing that, that, if anything, we should be afraid of is, just, holding our money for a little bit, saving our money, because if there's going to be an issue, then, you know what I mean? It's like we got to have, like, some kind of something to fall back on,
Right.
But anywho, it's not it's just that's basically it. I just wanted to call to see if if you'd announced anything, for the multitude of fans that you have here. So my little 10-year-old wanted to know, so I had to call for him.
Well, I'll definitely be back. I'm gonna check it out and see what's going on. But I'll definitely try to come back to California, because I know a lot of you guys are over there. I want to go over there more and to visit. So I thank you for the call. Most certainly appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. God bless everybody, and everybody have a safe rest of the week, and God bless you guys, and God bless you in your travel. Hey, okay?
All right now. Thank you.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate y'all. Hey, I got to kind of cut out a little bit earlier, probably in about 15 minutes or so, so I got to get up early in the morning. But I thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Wait a minute. Okay, I see some, thank you to Colette, who says, Utah Jazz player has Wuhan virus. Player's name not mentioned, just in, quote, NBA suspend season until further notice over Wuhan virus. Okay, yeah, I think I heard something about the Jazz suspending the game, like during the game or something. I need to read more on that, but thank you for your donation. Shout out to my man Killer Sushi 99, who says, dedicate the super chat on Ivan's behalf because he's cheap. He's here all the time, but never contributes anything. There you go. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Jessica Dahman, who says, keep it up. Will do. Thank you for your donation. Most certainly appreciate you. Let me see. My man Sushi again says, I went to a local Chinese restaurant and it was packed. Where I live, people are going to get their General Tso chicken, pandemic or no pandemic. Wash those hands and stay fresh and clean, folks. Heart emoji. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. I'm getting that General Tso, and I'm getting my 2 pork egg rolls. I don't care. I'm going to keep myself clean, and that's it. So I won't get the Wuhan virus or the flu or anything else. But thank you for the donation. I most certainly appreciate you. And I think I read this one. Ellie Bell says, Tom Hanks and his wife tested positive for Wuhan. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I think I've already read that, but yeah, they do have that. They're in Australia, and they have it. And also, as far as the NBA, they did they suspended their season. I'm not sure how long they're going to do that. It may just be for a few games or for a few days, I should say. People are saying that it's going to be over totally, but I've not heard that from the NBA. When they say suspend, they don't necessarily mean like it's going to be over. All they mean is that it's just not going to happen right now. For a while, at least. Let's get to the next call. 239, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, what's going on?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, let me turn you off here because I always listen to you. Then, sorry. So, what's good? What's good? Do you have any feedback on my end?
You're fine. Everything's fine.
All right. I wanted to ask you a quick question, as always. I want to ask you a quick question. But I got to tell you this quick little story first. So me and my girlfriend were with a couple friends, and we finally saw Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know if you've seen Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie.
I've not seen that.
Okay, well, it's her friend and her boyfriend, right? The friend that she works with, and we finally all watched Bohemian Rhapsody. We rented it at their house and everything, right? And it's the stories about Freddie Mercury and everything he's done, and then at the end he dies from AIDS. And at the end of the movie, right, the girl who's her friend from work starts bawling out, crying, and like acting hysterical, talking about like, oh, he died because of stupid AIDS. I can't believe stupid AIDS killed him and all this and all that. And I wanted to tell her, like, no, he died from dumb decisions. AIDS just happened to be one of them, right? But she was just going on hysterical. And I was talking to the boyfriend. He's like, yeah, every time she watches one of these movies or something, it always happens or whatever. So my question to you is, because I never thought, like, when I go see the movies, you know how Disney, like, promotes things and everything in movies now is just a propaganda and things like that. And, you know, when I go watch a movie, I realize the political propaganda. I realize all the things that they're trying to throw out there. They're trying to be, you know, all about this movement or that movement or this movement or that movement. And I always think people are too smart to fall for it. But this is the first time I realized, wow, they really do fall for it. So my question is to you, how much do you think the Disney movement trying to push things forward, you know, it's like, oh, first transgender this or first that or first whatever, you know, all the movie industry, all the music industry, the new Taylor Swift song with Man, I don't know if you heard that song, where she just, this is men. How impactful do you believe that is on the future generation?
Very impactful, because you have a lot of people that aren't really being raised by their parents. They're letting technology raise them, put them in front of a screen, and that's it. Because one thing about it, the music and the culture would not be as impactful if parents are more involved in the kids' lives. It's kind of what I say about rap music. You know, it wouldn't really be that much of an impact on you if you had parents in your life that told you right from wrong. You'd be able to understand music or anything else as entertainment and not really real. Just like when you watching the Power Rangers or something like that, some kind of cartoon, you know you can't do that in real life. You're not going to jump from top of your window and try to fly like a fairy or something like that because you saw it on TV. But when you don't have any kind of parental guidance, nobody telling you right from wrong, then you kind of just default to whatever's right in front of you. And stuff like that can kind of influence society. And then also, when you're around others that are doing the same thing, that can kind of influence you. If you go into school and the parents ain't really as involved as they should, or they can't be there 24/7, which is kind of hard to do, obviously, then a lot of that culture kind of seeps its way in. So yeah, that could definitely have an impact, unfortunately. But I think an impact could be lessened if parents are more involved in their kids' lives.
Well, I also hear on the other end, go woke, go broke. And I figured to myself, like, do you think it'll ever stop? Because you just keep getting these constant, like, you know, failures. This is a failure. That's a failure. Charlie's Angels was a failure. Ghostbusters, all this and all that. All these, like, woke ideologies that keep making them, they keep failing. Do you think, like, the studios will be like, hey, guys, we're losing a lot of money here. We should probably go back to making movies like The Patriot, you know what I mean? Or Air Force One. You could never make a movie like that nowadays, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that as society moves forward, they're going to try to keep going forward with this woke stuff. But there may be kind of a retraction, because now people are starting to go more towards the right. I mean, after a certain period, like let's say you're talking about a presidential election, you keep getting, you know, conservative after conservative. It's a constant wave of conservatives in the White House. And then you got conservative judges, and then you have the House and the Senate, and then you have just the general cool factor of being conservative, of being kind of on the right in general society. A lot of that woke stuff are trying to just it won't be as much, in my humble opinion. And it could come in waves. We could have a period of time where we go away from the woke stuff and we're not really on that too much anymore, and then it may come back. It's like this meme I saw. I kind of can't really remember everything that was in it, but basically it was saying, in good times, men become lazy, they become weak, and bad times, people, right, you know, like that type of thing is going on. So I think that could be what's happening with us.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I've never seen anyone act this hysterical over a movie, realizing that, like, you know, Freddie Mercury was a man, made dumb decisions. His dumb decisions, his careless decisions, should I say, got him killed. He got AIDS not because AIDS crept up on him. He got AIDS because he was doing stuff he shouldn't have done with unprotected things, and that's what happened when you are not responsible. But we couldn't get that through her head, you know what I mean? And we had to like pander to her, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, only bad people get AIDS, or only like it was just such a bad pandering that I wish I could have told her, hey, you're an adult, get over it. And I realized, wow, this is what movies are doing to us. Know what I mean? Like I thought I was, you know, everyone that watches like, or whatever. Know what I mean? But anyway, it really makes me scared for what's coming in the future. Anyway, thank you, ABL. I'm glad I have people like you to watch stuff. You know, I'm not crazy in the world. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Now, somebody said Tom Hanks could have a bad cold. That's possible because, let's be clear, coronavirus does not mean Wuhan virus. Coronavirus is a family of viruses that include the common cold and also SARS and MERS. It's just another form of respiratory illness, the coronavirus. Coronavirus means a family of viruses. That's why I'm saying Wuhan virus makes sense, because it's its own unique virus up under the coronavirus tree. It is not the coronavirus itself, because it doesn't make any sense. It's a family of viruses. That's not how they work. Like, my name is Anthony Logan, not Logan. You know, I'm under the Logan tree in the Logan family. I'm Anthony. So I have my own name, not just Logan. But let me get to, now, speaking about the NBA, what happened was they're not just suspending the season because of fears of the coronavirus and the fans and stuff like that. A player tested positive for the coronavirus. Now, they're saying right now that it's Rudy Gobert. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I'm hearing. Now, it may or may not be Rudy Gobert, but it is a Jazz player. But what I will show you is this clip right here from about 2 days ago. Check this out. You see what he did? He touched all the microphones. Okay, he touched all the microphones. So if this is the guy that has coronavirus, and it's possible because he's European, he's French actually. So like that could be a problem. And I think that's why they suspended the season until they can get everybody tested in the league and make sure everything is decontaminated and make sure everything is going back to normal. That's what's going on. That's the truth, because the NBA players are not at risk. They're flying private and they can have everything clean and they go through their own airport entrance and they're straight. But the players themselves, if one of them have it, now you got a problem because they're in a locker room, they're up against each other, they're sweating, and it's all kind of, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on with that. So if you have an NBA player with the coronavirus, that's going to be an issue. Okay, but I don't know if it's Rudy Gobert, but they're saying that a Jazz player did test positive for the virus, which is why, as of right now, the NBA is suspended but not canceled permanently. Just suspended until they can figure out everything that's going on. They'll probably test everybody to make sure everything is okay, and then they'll go back to playing after everything is confirmed as fine. All right, let's get back. Let's get to the next call. 2 and 3 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Marcelo from LA.
All righty, what's going on?
I just have a question. Do you think what's happening in the stores, is it man-made or Democratic-made, that there's nothing in the stores?
I think that it could be a combination of both. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of these people on the left have been pushing the hysteria behind the coronavirus, and people start to buy into it. And then they go out there and rush the stores for things that aren't even needed. Toilet paper. I mean, what are we doing? Like, what's the point in doing that? I don't even understand. People are just panicking because of what they see on the news. I think one newspaper around here or somewhere they did like 21 Wuhan virus stories in a day. Stuff like that makes people get scared. And then they go out there and they act from fear.
No, I see. But see, I start wondering, because remember what happened with the Thanksgiving like 2 years ago? They said don't eat the turkey because it's contaminated. So the stock dropped because they didn't know what turkey was. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was during Thanksgiving, and they said all this turkey is contaminated, so you can't be buying no turkey for Thanksgiving. So then I guess the stock market went down because they promoted that. But then when I'm looking at Costco, that they have a stadium like a block away, I'm like, how can you be out of water? How can you be out of toilet paper? Don't you guys have enough to pack for everybody coming in to watch the game? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because I went to Home Depot in December trying to buy water, those 5-gallon waters, and they said we're out of water. It looks like it's been already a couple of months. They already started declining the supplies for everybody.
So in LA, is there like a shortage of supplies that you can't get water and stuff like that in the store?
Yeah, you can get water, you can get toilet paper, you can get rice, you can get beans. It's like, this is ridiculous.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, I'm coming there tomorrow. Should I postpone my trip?
No, you shouldn't.
Okay. I just want to make sure I got basic stuff in the hotel I'm going to. I want to go in there and say, sir, we don't have any water for you to drink. I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah, it's like, it's weird. It's like, that's the reason, you're a store. You're supposed to have all this stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was on my mind. It's like, this is crazy. I think this is how they wanted. Well, if the store's not selling nothing, I guess Dow Jones is going to be down because nobody's buying nothing.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's buying anything, so the industries are being hit. I mean, people are not getting on planes. They're not going to the stores. They're not coming outside. And you got to have the industry. People have to be outside and doing things for the world to tick, to keep on going. If people are just inside, not doing anything, not spending no money, you can't make any money like that. So, of course, people are going to start to get fired. They're going to sell off stocks. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, I think this is all. I want to make sure, or I want to find out if it is happening in Republican states or just in Democrat states.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, that was my one piece of mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. All right. And thank you all for joining. If you like what you're hearing so far, please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Okay, if you guys didn't see that video of Rudy Gobert, I'm going to play it right quick again. Now, this is what I was talking about. This is the NBA player. And some context here, if you didn't hear me the first time, or you're just not coming in, the NBA season has been, how can I say, what's the word I used? It's been suspended, which means that there'll be no more games for the foreseeable future. It could be a week, 2 weeks, a month. They're not really sure. It will probably come back after the whole coronavirus thing is cleared up. But see, the problem here is that an NBA player from the Utah Jazz tested positive for coronavirus. Now, what he did 2 days ago, before he got tested for the virus, was jokingly touch the microphones of the journalists that were there when he was getting up and leaving. So just look what he does. You see what he's doing right here? He's touching all the microphones that are right in front of him when he's talking. So let's run that back one more time if you didn't see it. Ha 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 ha, funny, but now he has coronavirus. See? So I don't really know. And the test, my thing is, are we trying to get just the coronavirus in general, or the Wuhan virus, which is what is the problem, not just coronavirus? Because like I said, I think that also includes the common cold, SARS, and MERS. So what are we testing for specifically? I don't really know. Alrighty. So matter of fact, after I actually leave, because I got to get up in the morning, I'm going to take a couple more calls, and then I got to wrap it on up, put a bow on the top. 470, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Man.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Anthony, I'm trying to hang in here, Anthony. I'm so scared, Anthony.
Well, you can wash your hands and make sure that everything's straight with your hygiene. I think you'd be all right.
Anthony, I got good hygiene. Don't be trying to act funny with me, boo. Don't be trying to play me, boo. I just can't believe it's just everywhere around me, Anthony.
Well, look, you just got to get it together. I think you'd be just fine.
I hope so, Anthony, because ain't nobody in my hood that came up with it, Anthony. I'm just, I just don't know what to do, Anthony. I'm just so scared, Anthony.
I hear you, but it ain't nothing to be scared about.
I hope not, Anthony. I just saw your orange man on the TV, Anthony.
All right, so what do you think?
Me even more. I wasn't scared of the disease. I was scared of him too, Anthony.
Why were you scared of him?
Because he's about to get 4 more years in the White House, Anthony.
Yes, he will.
I bet you do, Anthony.
It'll be all right, though. Don't worry about it. He'll be in good hands.
Anthony, he is not all state, Anthony, so get it right, boo. But anywho, Anthony, what is you doing, Anthony? Is you okay, Anthony? I heard y'all got, well, we got it here in Georgia too, but I heard y'all got coronas in Tennessee, Anthony.
I think somebody got it, coronas. I think somebody got it, but I'm not really sure who does. But everything is good where I'm at. Ain't no problems.
Anthony, why they get corona? Why they want drinking Bud Light or Heineken, Anthony?
I think that's not really how it spreads. I don't know about the drinks and all of that. You can drink Corona. It's something else. It's an actual virus, not a drink that people are drinking.
Anthony, you need to stop playing, boo. Ain't nobody gonna call me Corona and then Corona to drink, Anthony. What is wrong with you? You don't even see no Corona commercials on TV no more, Anthony. Look at your TV, Anthony. You don't even see the little beach and the little man that be out there. He just put the little lemon in there, just bye-bye, and just, They gone, Anthony. They gone. What we gonna do, Anthony?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
And Tom Hanks, he got it too, Anthony. He my favorite actor, Anthony.
He does have it.
I guess he won't be making another Philadelphia then, Anthony.
I guess not. I don't think so.
But anywho, Anthony, you gonna be okay? I heard you going to California, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm going.
You gonna be okay, Anthony? Don't you get no coronas out there, Anthony. You just drink you some water and Bud Light, Anthony.
I don't even drink no beer, so I'm good. I don't drink alcohol at all, so I'll be just fine. I sit in my water like I always do, and I'll be good.
Well, you might need to take you some good Tennessee water. I can send you some Georgia water. You give me your address, and I send it straight to you, Anthony, because I don't want you to get sick, Anthony.
No, thank you.
Why you gonna give me your address, Anthony?
No, thanks, sir.
Excuse me, Anthony. Ma'am, boom.
I'm good. Thank you.
But anywho, Anthony. And what is this they talking about? Billy Porter again, Anthony. Why does they keep playing with Billy Porter, Anthony?
I don't know what happened to him.
He went to the little award show thing and he had on a nice dress, Anthony. Everybody's upset by him and Dwyane Wade's son because they out here trying to be who they is and live that truth, Anthony.
Well, Billy Porter just looks ridiculous in what he wears, and I think that Dwayne...
He does not look ridiculous, Anthony.
Yes, he does.
He's beautiful, Anthony.
No, he does not. And Dwayne Wade's son is too young to be doing that. 12 years old, that's too young.
He made his decision. He wants to be a woman, Anthony.
That's not right. That's not, you're too young for that. Do that when you get to be an adult, not when you're 12 years old.
Whatever, Anthony. But anyway, Anthony, I'm about to go because I got to go out here to Atlanta because we about to have the mail review at the Bulldog, Anthony.
Okay, well that's great, fantastic.
They're gonna have some male strippers and I hope they don't have no Corona bottles and stuff.
No,
Light and Heineken, Anthony.
I got you. I'm with you.
You're welcome to come and look at it.
No, thank you. I'll pass on that. No, thank you.
Whatever, Anthony. Okay, boo. But anywho, Anthony, when you go out there to California, if you see amazing, You tell him I hope he okay, Anthony, and I don't want him to have no corona. And if he needs some water, some Bud Light, or whatever he needs, Anthony, I'll send it to him, Anthony. Okay, Anthony?
That's great.
Okay, Anthony. Anthony?
Yes?
Anthony?
What?
I know you digress, but I just want to tell you that if you see Kevin from Kevin Corner, you tell him with that nice shiny bald head. I said, hey.
All right. Okay. All right. That's. I'll do that. But thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye, Anthony.
I still don't know who that is. We have kind of like guessed who that could be, but I'm not really sure who that is yet. All right. Thank y'all. I have to go, actually. It's a little early for me to go, but I need to go. I got to get up early in the morning. So thank y'all for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. I'm going to try to come back. I'm going to try to come back Saturday before 8. So that's my goal. Come back before the show normally starts on Saturday and do my regular show. I got a video coming out tomorrow. I already did today. And that's going to be about, what's a video about? I forgot already, but it'll be out tomorrow, 12:30, same time. And I'm going to try to do some videos when I'm out there, but I'll be real busy. I'll be filming something on Friday. I can't say nothing about it. I probably could, but I don't want to. I want it to be a nice surprise. It's going to be good. I think you guys will enjoy it. And then I'll be in the audience of Fox Soul tomorrow and Friday night. Tomorrow night and Friday night. So I think from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time, I'll be on Fox Soul TV, but I won't be like on the stage. I'll be in the audience. You might see me if you go to foxsoul.tv or go to their Fox Soul stream. I might be in the audience. They might put me on stage. Who knows if they want me to be on there and talk about a few things, but I will definitely be filming something that will be released at a later date, hopefully pretty soon. And I can't say nothing about it yet because I want it to be a nice surprise. So I should be there. I might say, you know what, I don't want to go and change my mind, but I doubt it. I think everything will be fine. A lot of my friends are still traveling and everything's fine. So I will see you guys later. I might even stream when I'm out there. Who knows? Keep an eye out for that. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.